Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rain Boots, and I'm here with another Dollar Tree Christmas in July craft, the Broom Gnome. It can be used as an ornament, a swag, or wreath hanger, and if you'd like to make him, just stick around. As always, please hit that like button so I know you're here crafting. And if you're not subscribed, go ahead and do that too. All right, so last week I shared the curtain ring gnome ornaments, which were so much fun to make. But I also gave you a sneak peek of this little guy. He was done in, I mean, you can see this whole video with all of my extras is only 8 minutes. Done in no time using a sock or a mitten, some twine, a couple of wooden beads, and this scented broom from the Dollar Tree. It is potent. In June at my Dollar Tree, at the very bottom of the candle section were these, and I'm sitting here wondering if I can paint it or if the paint would flake off because there's so much cinnamon oil on here. Now, when I say there's a lot of cinnamon oil, I mean, protect your work surface. I would not hang this up against a wall or put it on a table without having something underneath it. I just think it's super coated. The first thing I notice is this little hanger simply won't do. I'm going to try and glue it in front so we can actually have the ornament not facing the ground when we hang it. And after I do that, I'm going to set that aside and start working on my hat. I used last week both a mitten and a sock to tell you a couple of different ways to use the Dollar Tree materials to make gnome hats. I thought I was going to cut it this way, pretty wide, and have a nice tall hat that I could have a floppy hat on the side. But it turns out I just had another idea for using the rest of this sock. So I'm only going to be using this little top ankle portion instead. So I'm going to flip it upside down, and you can see right here, I realize, woo, I'm covered in cinnamon oil. All right, so here's where I also realized it's not going to hold my ornament the way I want to. So I just cut or rip this little thing off, and we're going to actually end up stringing this a much more secure way, in a way that will allow our little face to pop up. So all I'm going to do here is just cut the sock right under the heel. Now I know I've shared this before using the top part of the sock or all the way from the heel to the toe, but this part we can use just as easily for smaller gnomes. You don't have to only use it for arms or feet or shoe coverings if you have the Dollar Tree booties. This is an easy thing. We're going to start just up from the bottom, so leave about an inch or so, and then cut all the way up to the top of the opposite corner. Not with these scissors because, yeah, they're garbage. I should probably just throw them away, but I think I packed them. All right, so now I'm going to just secure this with glue. For those of you who do not know, if I keep referencing packing, it's because I'm moving from Seattle, Washington to Austin, Texas, and our house sold, so now we have to really pack everything up. So in order to hang this, I'm going to use the Dollar Tree twine, and I like this twine because it's super thin and I can thread it through an embroidery needle. See how lazy I am? No hard work. But if you don't have that, just use an X-Acto knife or a craft knife and just pop a hole in the section of the hat I'm going to show you in just a second. All right, so now that our glue has set, I'm just going to check it, pull everything apart, make sure it's set, and make sure that seam lays as flat as I can get it. Also, use your finger to poke out the very tip of the hat and unfurl the brim. You can see I'm just pressing here to make sure everything is good. All right, so once you have that, guess what? You're just going to determine which is the front or the back of the broom that you want. I don't know. They look almost the same to me. But I'm just going to slip that on, making sure that the bottom like dip of the hat, so the hat will dip, just make sure that dip is in the back. Pull it down, give it a nice scrunch. And now we just need to position a nose to make sure we know where to position the hat. Now this 1-inch wood round nose was, it's a little bit too big for this little project. So I head over to oh, look what I found. These are Dollar Tree beads from one of those shelf signs. I use them a ton for Cricut crafts and little tier tray, accents and stuff. And this just happened to be ripped off a Dollar Tree wooden sign. And they were from last fall. All right, so I'm just going to tack this one little round in place so I can be sure to put a lot of hot glue all around this hat so we can make sure it's secure because we are going to be hanging it by the hat. All right, so once that's on, we're actually just gonna flip it all the way over and then work on the back. So I'm gonna put a very generous portion of hot glue, making sure I kind of squeeze it and push it down a bit so it's flat, so we don't have any hot glue poking out that sock. All right, and then I'm just gonna put some hot glue down here on the little dip in back as well. Just a little bit of glue will do. All right, once that's secure, I'm going to now basically rip off my little nose and put it in the right place. I'm just going to make sure that the wood round hole or the little beads hole is pointed up and out so that I can cover both the bottom and the top holes with the hat. So you can see the bottom is covered by putting it into the broom and the top is covered with a bit of glue and the brim of the hat. Easy peasy. Guess what? You're literally almost done with this project. The next part is completely optional. Well, not this part. Do go ahead and secure the hat all the way around, just again to give it a little bit more sturdiness, if you will. And once that is done, now I'm going to make my hanger. He's super cute right here. You can just leave him as a shelf sitter, but again, I would absolutely make sure you protect your table or other surface because I do believe this oil will transfer. All right, so we are going to go right through the sides of the tip of the hat. I'm going to, you don't have to do this, but if you are, you want to use 3 or so little wood beads. And again, these are from the Dollar Tree, but you can use any ones. Oh, the Dollar Tree now has macrame beads too in like other shapes and sizes. Have you seen that at your Dollar Tree? Or should I say the dollar and a quarter tree? All right, so I'm going to thread 3 beads on it. I'm going to use my needle and go in. You can see here, this is about 12 inches of twine, but hold on, I'm just going to go right through the side, about a ½ inch down. 3/4 wouldn't hurt you either. And then I'm just going to pull it a little bit through so that I can bring my needle and twine back up through the wood beads. And that way it looks all nice and clean and finished, and no one will know that you just strung it through. All right, so pop those through there, give it a little room. They're going to fall down onto the hat anyway. You don't have to secure them down at the bottom, but you do have to secure them at the top. So you'll see me here making my 2 sides a little bit more even, just so I can use this full length, because I'm not sure if I'm going to use this as an ornament, a package tie, or as a swag accent or wreath accent. All right, so I just give that a little knotty tie. I don't even know where that came from. Wow. And then we're done. That's honestly it. You can add accents, you can add a little extra, zhuzhing with a couple of Christmas buttons or a tag. But honestly, that's it for this entire craft. Nothing except the hot glue drying was sped up. So look, you're done. That's it. Isn't he sweet? He's so cute. I happen just to love him. And as you can see, I like how he twirls. Let me know down in the comments what you think. And as always, please like, please share, and subscribe for more crafty fun.